So it's Ruben West here. I'm excited to have this opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you. And I'm here with Team CEO Zandra. Now, it's something when you're known by your first name. You have Oprah, you have Madonna, you have people like Prince, and now we have Zandra. And so, Zandra, thanks for hooking up with me. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Now, we're about to be in Kansas City. And for the first time ever, we're offering the Black Belt Speakers Juniors. And our whole goal is to help take youth and get them to where they need to be. And you've been on different television shows, been in print and interviewed in magazine and radio. And let me ask you, how important is your speaking and communication for these types of events?
It's the most important thing. I mean, I wouldn't have landed any of the opportunities I've had if my speaking ability wasn't up to par. If that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. And this is why we're doing this, because we know there's other youth out there. We know there's other parents out there, and they're really looking to get their children some additional opportunities. They have great ideas. They may have great businesses. They may have a great personality. They may want to be on television or in print, and they're looking for opportunities to open the door. And one of the things that I know that you're involved with is your mother. She has Raising a Mogul,
Hmm.
and that's where her and a couple other moms coach parents on how to get their children out there and how to get them opportunities. But one of the things she told me was, hey, we get these opportunities. They ask if we know of other children. The pitch, huh?
Their pitch and be confident in explaining about their company and who they are as a person too. Because I know when you see the print magazine or you see like the news ads or you see me actually on television, you don't see the behind the scenes work of what it took me to get up there. Tons of phone calls, tons of conversations, tons
Right.
of okay, say it this way, or tons of really just getting deep into what they really want you, showing your story through you and through the words and stuff. So it's definitely a lot of talking, a lot of different conversations, a lot of spending words and really just getting it out there. So it definitely, I would look for another kid who has um, that confidence in the adaptability, and then also is just really okay with the adaptability too, because you have to be okay with stepping out of your comfort zone and having those different conversations over and over again. Sometimes it's
Yeah. And
repetitive. You got to be happy, buddy.
and let me ask you this, because this is real, and I know I've gotten a chance to be on TV a number of different times, and don't you agree that even when you've practiced it and you've worked on it and you're ready, and then you're in front of the camera, that's different. See, it's different practicing over here and working on it over here, and then they put you on in front of the camera. And they say, "Okay, here we and ready, and 3, 2, 1," and they give that signal, and you're on and you're live, and then you start thinking of all the stuff that comes through your head. So that repetition and having somebody to work it out with you is critical. At least it was for me. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely critical, especially when you're up there on television and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do a 30-second segment, but that 30 seconds feels like 5 hours. It's different. It's
Yeah,
definitely
and
different.
you have to have what you're going to say crafted so that they can get the information out in 30 seconds. You can't say, I'd like to,
Yeah, yep, and it's
okay,
over.
continue. We're going to commercial, right? Right? I mean, you're too late. And so you really have to have what you're going to say ready to say it, organized, and understand what it is. And I think that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do the BBS junior training. Number one, we want them to feel comfortable on stage. We want them to get the opportunity to feel comfortable in front of the camera. We want them to get an opportunity to feel comfortable with people watching. Because when you're on stage in front of a camera and you have people watching, that's three things that most people never experience until it's time for them to experience it. And if you can experience it in practice, it makes it easier when you experience it for real. And so if you're out there listening and you have a youth and you say, hey, I want my youth to go to the next level. I'm looking for ways to get them more exposure, more opportunities. If those are things that you're thinking about, I want you to consider coming to the training. Black Belt Speakers live event. It's going to be in Kansas City, Missouri, at the Kansas City Airport, Hilton. And listen to this, it's October 5th, 6th, and 7th. So it's coming up. The youth event is going to be the 5th and 6th. And if you bring your child, guess what? I'm going to let you attend the adult experience at no charge. So if you bring your youth, one of the things I know is you're not sending them by themselves. So if you bring them, I'm going to let you attend the adult experience for no charge. And then I want to ask you, Zandra, because you just released a joint book with some other children in it. What was that like?
That was absolutely amazing. I mean, the book launch to actually go and see some of the kids in person because a lot of it was virtual. So we had 26 kids total and had the book, and it was a lot of just going back and forth with other countries and just different parts of the world that they were from. So it was really cool to see some of them and see the reactions and the parents' reactions when they first saw their face on the cover of the book was
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. And to have to see a book and then they actually had to read some of their chapter, it was amazing. And they were really excited
Yeah,
about it.
and isn't it great because a lot of times being an entrepreneur just starts with your first product. And so for those of you out there, that first product can be a book.
Mm-hmm.
You started with your first product. What was your very first product?
Lip balm.
Yeah, it was a lip balm. Yeah, I knew that. I just wanted to throw that out there for them. But here's the thing. That's where you started, but it didn't have to be where you're finished. Now you have multiple products, but it always goes back to the fact that you started with that lip balm. And one of the things that I
Absolutely.
believe is that if you learn to sell one thing, you can learn to sell multiple things. Don't you agree?
100%.
Yeah. So the great thing about the book and being in the book and for being a first time published author is that if you're a youth and you don't have a product, the book can become your product. Was there people in your book that the book was their first product that they had to sell?
Absolutely. I was about to say, they got the first product. That's what it was.
They got the first product. Now here's the thing, and this is what I want everybody watching to think about is imagine having a product regardless of what the product is. The product could be lip balm like it was for Zandra. The product could be water. I don't know. The product could be the book. And then not having the skills to sell it. I mean, in the end, what do you really have? Because the world is made up of sales. I have a 6-year-old son, and every day he's trying to sell me on something. Dad, don't you want some ice cream? I want some ice cream. No, are you sure? You want me to make you some? No. Like he's trying all these ways to do what? Sell me on giving him some ice cream. It's all about sales. Dad, I really like that shirt you're wearing. Oh, thank you. You want some ice cream? No, I don't. I don't. But he's always trying to sell me on something. And the bottom line is, if you're going to have a product, regardless of what that product is, you have to be able to speak about it. You have to be able to tell people why they should purchase the book. Because what I've noticed is a lot of people have books and they'll reach out to me. And let me tell you what they say, Zandra. Dr. West, I just released my book. You should buy it.
Well, why?
And that's what I say. So, okay, like, is it for my son or is it for my daughter? I have college age kids or a younger son. Like, would it be for my wife? Who's the book for? And you know what they'll say? It's for everyone.
No.
And I'll say, okay, well, what is the benefit of me reading the book? And they'll say, you'll get to read about me. Well, I can just talk to you. Right? And what I'm trying to do is get them to understand that people buy results. They buy reason people buy your lip balm. I know you're amazing and it says Zandra, but they really buy it for what the lip balm does. And so if you can't tell them what the product or service that you offer does, then they're probably not going to buy it. So one of the things I love working with, not only adults and youth, especially at the event and at the training, is helping them to sell their product or service by creating a narrative that talks about the benefits to the customer. Because if you can't tell them the benefits, not, and so I think this training is imperative. What do you think would be the number one skill that they should learn at a training like this?
Lost for words.
I know. I think that.
Well, I know there's so many. I mean, do you think
There's
it's
so many.
their stage presence or their confidence or getting the words together or the energy?
I want to say confidence because even though confidence is such like a thing that everybody says, and then also like some people are like, okay, well, I'm not just supposed to be they're not just some people that are naturally confident, but then others are not. But I feel like if you're confident, you can sell me whatever, and I'll be really excited about buying it. I think a lot of it comes
I
with
agree.
confident because it could be like, oh, I'm gonna sell you this trash bag, and if I'm really confident about it, and I make you feel like it's gonna change your life, you're gonna buy the trash bag even though you don't need it, that type of thing. So I think confidence is
I agree. And I like that answer because confidence goes in every area of being a business owner. Whether you are interviewed on TV, they can see your confidence. If you're live on stage, they can see your confidence. If you're talking through the radio, they can hear the confidence in your voice. And guess what? If you don't have confidence, they can hear that too. And so when you say, well, you you should get this book. It's a good book. Okay. Well, thank you. You know what they'll say is, well, let me look at it. Okay. Well, let me get back with you. Whenever they say, let me get back with you,
that means no.
I've learned something. That's a polite way of saying no. Like they don't want it right now. Now's not the time. They don't want to hurt your feelings and they're walking off. And so a lot of people tell me, hey, Ruben, I have a lot of people that I talk to, but I can't get them to buy whatever I'm selling, the product or service. And so just to show you the type of things we're going to cover at this training, let me give you a quick little snippet. Number one, people really think about pain or gain. So what are the benefits of buying something? So some people are going to buy when you sell them on the benefits. So let's say I was selling your lip balm. And I'm saying, hey, one of the reasons that you want this lip balm is because it'll keep your lips moist and it will help you when you're communicating because it's hard to communicate with dry lips. And so if you want to have moist lips that are appealing on camera, you definitely want this lip balm. Now that would be enough for a lot of people, but some people need that pain, right? And so I always throw in but if you don't, right? So but if you don't, that takes me to the pain statement. So if you buy this lip balm, it's going to keep your lips nice and moist and they're going to look good on camera. But if you don't, your lips are going to look cracked and dry. And it's going to be hard for people to listen to what you're saying because they won't be able to get past the look of your lips. See, now you see what I'm saying?
Ouch!
But if you don't. See, and a lot of times, right. Like, give me that lip balm. Well, a lot of times we have the plus, but we don't hit them with the minus.
Yes.
So the reason they need this book, this is going to help your child not only develop themselves, but come up with new ideas that they can do in their lives. And so if you get it, it's going to be very beneficial. But if you don't, you may always wonder what would have been had they taken the time to read this book. And I would hate to see that happen for your child. You see, you always got to give that, but if you don't, that's just one tip, one strategy that we're going to be working on at the training. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we literally don't even have time to go into the actual training methods. But what I really wanted to talk to the parents was the number one reason that they should come to this training. And that is that they need the help to get the doors open. So you're not only going to have myself, they're not only going to get a chance to work with you, but then they're also going to get a chance to hang out with your mother, who, she runs Raising a Mogul, the whole organization that helps other parents get their child to the next level. Now, I just believe that if you come, you're going to really see the benefit in working with myself, with Tamara, and also Zandra. You'll get a chance to get your child on stage. That's going to be very beneficial. So there's so many pluses to this opportunity. But if you don't,
I think
I love it. Listen, it works. It works.
Good.
So let me just interject here just for a second.
Yeah.
So you guys are making some amazing points, obviously. And so just so everyone out there that's watching and listening, I want to say thank you for tuning in and make sure you share this video. Please tag a parent, share it on somebody's timeline. Just invite somebody in that has a child that they are trying to get to the next level. Any parent that knows their child, he's a little shy, she's really talented, but she just has trouble, talking to people or getting her word out there, you know. And once again, this is not only for entrepreneurs. This is not, if your child has, you know, hasn't launched their big thing yet, or you don't even know if they're meant to be in business, that's fine. But guess what? Every child needs a speaking skill set. They need the skills that they will learn at this this training. It's a training. It's not a conference. It's a training. So networking, you know, just being able to step out in front of their classroom when it's time to give that talk, you know, being able to walk into a room where you're going to position them. You should be parents. If you're going to conferences and networking and all these amazing things to enhance you as a parent, or as a person, you should be also bringing your children, that's one of the reasons why Zandra's where she is, because I positioned her for the greatness I knew she had, and I knew where I wanted her to be. So if you know where you want your child to be, you should also want them to be in this room called Junior Black Belt Speakers. Because
what I thought was great was, you know, Zandra was at the event in Chicago. We had it April 5th, 6th, and 7th in Chicago. And then when she got off the event, I got a chance to share the stage with her in New Jersey, because Anana Pfeiffer Delrahome, who was at the event, heard Zandra speak at that event and said, hey, Ruben, oh my goodness, I'm going to have her on my event, on my stage. And so we got a chance to share the stage together, but the contact was made at the event. And so one of the benefits is I have people who do radio shows, internet broadcasts, podcasts, live events that will literally may want to feature your child at the event. But if you're not there, there's no way that they can get a chance to connect with the opportunity, because part of the time I take is find some people. I have an interview me card that we fill out and say, okay, I want to be on your show, or I want to be on your event. So it's also not only about the growth and the development, but then the opportunity to network and put those skills to use.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was one of, there were so many, but that was one of the most valuable pieces that Zandra and I took, in addition to the training that she received and I also received. But in addition to that, we also made a ton of connections with people that we probably would have just been watching on Facebook, or, you know, reading about in a magazine or in a book. So it was definitely invaluable. And that was not the only thing she booked at that conference. So when I tell you, your child's face needs to be in the place so they can be trained on how to manage the increase, it is just absolutely, I just can't say enough about our experience. And yes, you're probably thinking, well, Zandra was already a speaker. She was already on stages. She was, but the transition for just the 3 days that she experienced, that she went through, I just can't say enough about it. It was remarkable for her to actually learn technique and skills. There's a difference between us taking a course online or us just, you know, saying, you know, my uncle's a great speaker. He's going to teach me how to talk in church. You know, that's great. But at the levels we're talking about, you need your children need to learn the skill set so they can develop into the speaker, the presenter that they're meant to be. And I think every child absolutely can do it. No matter how shy they are, that's a part of the training, you know.
That's part of the training.
Break through a lot of those different things and come up with different phrases and, you know, establishing their story and the technique. It's a lot. It's a lot.
And I think it's definitely important too. So if you're thinking like, oh, like I don't have a business or anything, like you said, like positioning your children, because they're going to need to be able to speak in like the real world, in the real world, in class or whatever, and presenting. I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. So I was there for so I have a resuscitation class that I'm taking in college right now, and it's primarily around business, and because that's my major, of course. And I was there the first week we went over the syllabus, and then I only take it once a week, and then I missed 1 week because I was doing the book launch. So I came back, so I really was only in the class one day. And apparently when I came back, they were like, okay, are you ready for your presentations or whatever? And I was sitting in class like, what? Do a presentation? Like, what can you go there and say? And I was just, and a lot of people didn't want to go. And I'm just like, that's because a lot of people are like, they never really had, they got through high school without having to say anything their whole years, because either the teachers didn't push the whole class enough, or there was enough people in the class that took advantage of those opportunities to go up there and speak. But in college, like, they do not let you slide in most classes, especially if it's like a more intimate setting, which my class was. So I called mom right after, and I was just like, I'm so glad I'm a speaker because that was so easy. Like, I'm so glad that not that I'm a speaker, but under certain circumstances, whenever like on the spot, I can fly on the spot, that type of thing.
Right.
So I was just, that's a really important skill, and a lot of people like fold during those situations because they can't get it out and stuff. So,
and it's a skill that you did not always have.
no.
I can attest to that.
Well, and let me tell you this, one of the things I'm really excited about this event is, my goal is to create communicators that are communicating worldwide. Soon as we got done at the last event, if you remember, it was April 5th, 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then that night I flew to Dubai, and we had an event in Dubai. We went from Dubai, we flew over to Bahrain. We spoke in front of the governor at the International Speakers Conference. I had 4 speakers that I work with me. 3 flew from Chicago, 1 from Florida, and they turned it out. I mean, it was just a great experience. And the reason I say that is a lot of times we forget that there's 350 million people in the United States, but there's 7.7 billion in the world. And so a lot of times we're only trying to get our products, our services, and our voice in the US, in Texas, in Oklahoma, and California. But what I realize and what I told the speakers I work with is when you go out of the country, they see you completely different. Your products are worth more, your voice is worth more. And so to have that confidence to stand in front of people that, watch this, they're not just from a different background, they're from a different culture. And so how do you communicate? But what I told the people that I took with me, don't worry about it. The techniques still work. And so they went up there and they delivered. Now, I'm watching women that I work with get standing ovations from not only Muslim women, but Muslim men that are in full regalia, and they're loving every word and they're hanging on it. And after they're getting done, it's like, wow, your story really connected with me. They really touched me. I want to connect with you. And one of my speakers, her name was Tracy Ward, she said, Ruben, I got people from other countries sending me friend requests and messenger requests and talking about they're following me. Yes, because there's no limit to where you could take your message. And so I'm already booked. I'm going to Canada after the event the same month. I'm going to Nigeria. I'm going to, I think Kenya. I'm going to Burundi. I mean, like already. Now, it's not, if you know anything about me, it's not enough for me to go. I'm going to go anyway. But my brand is creating other people that can go. And so what I know is that there's people around the world that need to hear voices from these youth. I mean, what would it be like to go to another country and speak to those children and help create and establish a brand that they can partake in, that they can have hope in, that they can believe, wait a minute, if she can do it or if he can do it, I can do it. And now watch this. This is very powerful, and I want you guys to listen to this. One of the greatest ways to elevate your credibility is speak internationally. The minute I was over in Dubai and hit that Facebook Live, all these people were hitting me up like, Ruben, I've been meaning to reach out to you because I wanted to work with you. We were looking at bringing you in. I know you weren't, but you just was looking.
Right.
But now that you see me over here doing this, now you're not just looking, now you're trying to figure out how you can actually bring me in. So what I want to do is help create global communicators. And so when you come to this training has been dubbed Black Belt Speakers Global, because now the goal is not only to communicate here and where you're at, but communicate around the world, and then watch the U.S. open up for you.
Love it. Love it. Love it. That's awesome. And like you said, it's very powerful. Very powerful.
Yeah, and here's what I also wanted to say for the people who are listening, and you heard us talk about the book. She did a book. It was called The Science Behind It. She featured these other youth in the book. Now, let me tell you the benefit about I've done 7 so far. What's great about the joint book is when you put your story in there and you put your contact information, every single person that sells the book and every single person that buys the book gets your information. See, that's another opportunity for them to read about you and say, hey, can we bring you in? No. Yeah, Mike sold me the book, but I read your story and it talked about how you like to do pageants. And we're looking for someone who could come and talk to our class about what it's like to be in a pageant. We're looking for someone who could come and talk to our girls about what it's like to do pageants and how you have to carry yourself and what do you do to position yourself. Well, they got that opportunity because of someone else. So the great thing about the joint book is that you have people that you never met, you never know, buying your book and selling your book, and they're getting exposed to you.
Absolutely. In addition to that, the way it worked, the science behind the project that Zandra spearheaded was so powerful to all the families involved. Every child, really, every young person, I'll say, because we had kids from 6 to 19 in the book. And they all worked together so well to leverage each other's platform. They're sharing each other's content. Their social media has grown. Their exposure has grown because they became a family. Now we're the science behind it family. So not only did the parents connect to leverage each other and to support each other and uplift each other, but the young people's, their platforms are now intertwined. So any opportunity, oh, your child got selected to present or for an award, next thing you know, then you have 3 kids. And it's like, wait a minute, that's our family over there, So we're creating opportunities for each other. And that's how powerful collaborations, that's what the whole purpose of a collaboration, right? So
exactly.
It's really been valuable to every single person that that decided to take the risk and to leverage Zandra's platform and enroll the child.
Yeah. And let me say this. We've decided to kick it up a notch because I see Zandra, I see what she's doing. I see the confidence and the integrity that she has. But not only that, I see her willingness to want to help other people and especially other youth. What I've noticed is that a lot of people, they don't mind if you get ahead as long as you don't get ahead of them. Right? And so they're not really trying to help you out get to the next level until they make sure they've made it. But what I've seen her do is already reaching back, saying, how can I help? How can I give exposure to other people? And so anytime I see that, that is attractive to me. That's somebody I want to collaborate with. And so I said, hey, Zandra, what would it be like if we can help leverage this together? I've done 7 collaborative books. I think I've taken 45 people on TV. We've done, I don't know how many live events with the co-authors that I've been on. And so what we've decided to do is to do the next book, especially for youth, together. So Zandra will be using her platform to help build the
I'm so sorry. I had to
That's all right. I'll be using my platform to help build the young authors. And literally, we're going to launch this information at the event. But what I decided to do is I decided that I would even let the cat out of the bag because it's hard for me to keep it quiet. I get so excited. And so there may be a few of you out there right now. You may have a child who is an entrepreneur. Or you may have a child who wants to be an entrepreneur and is looking for their first product or service outside of Girl Scout cookies or something like that. How about their book? How about teaching them how to run their business by selling their book, by marketing their service, by using their voice? If that's you, this is a great opportunity for you and your child. Maybe you have a child that, well, I don't know, they're in dance or gymnastics and they're looking for more exposure. Let me tell you the benefit about writing a book because it solidifies what they're doing. It gives them credibility. It gives them interviews. And now they have a cut above the other people. And so imagine going in to the studio and you're already a published author and sharing that with the teacher or the instructor. I'd like to share this with you. Imagine, watch this, parents. This is so great. My son, Robinson, just finished up his book.
Yay!
He's 6. So he dictated it, and my wife put it down and took the picture. He's like, I don't like that picture. Get this picture. So it's really his book. He
I believe that.
do all the real work. But then now watch this. This was so powerful. So my son said he wanted a Xbox, something like that, for his birthday. I was like, you better get to selling books.
Sell those books.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if they learn it young, they understand that, wait a minute, I can create something and leverage it. And so he's all excited because people are tagging in there. I want to buy one of your books and send me one of your books and all this stuff. And he's like, Dad, I'm going to sell more books than you. Great. Like, I love it. I'm not upset. And so if you have a child and you feel like, man, they would really benefit from being a part of a project like this or being a part of a network like this, or really even being a part of a family like this, because one of the things I really believe is the people that I work with, people say, Ruben, you guys are like family. And I say, don't ever say that. we're not like family, we are family. And so if you have a child and you as a parent feel like you would benefit from being a part of our network and our family, make sure you reach out to us because the spots are going to go quickly. I mean, I know I wasn't supposed to say it today, but I just felt compelled to say it. And so since I said it, Tamara, we have to give them some way to reach out. So what would be the best way that they could reach out?
Okay, so yeah, since Dr. Ruben did let the whole cat out the bag.
Now I just ripped the bag in half.
Surprise. You can go ahead and shoot me an inbox message if you're interested, if you have additional questions, and I will give you the whole play-by-play on what we are planning because it is going to be spectacular. And there's more to tell, but I will say that we're not going to share. But I will say that, like Dr. Ruben said, there are very few spots because we're being very selective, and we have amazing things that we are planning for the young people that choose that will partake in the experience. So there are not many spots, so you didn't move your feet. And we are going to be in Kansas City very, very soon. And I know we're going to have some amazing young people that are going to meet us there, and we're looking forward to it. So yes, so you might want to think about it. Shoot me a message, then think about it.
Right. Take action and then think.
Yeah, take action now. And one thing I wanted to add to when you talked about the product, turning their first product. In the last collaboration and the science behind it, we had young people whose parents weren't even sure. I can't tell you how many emails and messages I got. Are like, well, my child's not really ready. They're not really an entrepreneur. They're not really as advanced as some of the other kids. And it's like, you know what? When the book came out and they all shared and we became family and they leveraged each other's platform, everybody went just like from like this to like this.
Yep.
It didn't even matter. We talked about how many books did you sell? How many books did you sell? We just it's a big celebration, and it's an uplifting experience for your child to see your child go from, kind of pushing through the challenge of bringing this amazing work, their chapter, out into the world. And then when they see it themselves for the first time, they see their face, they see their name in print, they see their face on the back of a book. It's just remarkable. It's a feeling that you just want to gift them with, and then for them to know that people are going to stand in line to pay them money to read their story. That takes it to a whole nother level. Yeah. And then when the phone calls and the opportunities and the emails come in, because now they have a story, now they have an experience, now they're an author, you know what I mean? So now they're a brand. And guess what that can do? That can do nothing more than grow. Yeah. And it turns into just so much more. So
like you said, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, having a book just signifies that you're on like a greater level. I don't know why, but it's true with a lot of the celebrities and stuff, because even like Oprah, as big as she is, she still has a book though that talks about her life and talks about her journey. The president, I'm sure he has a book.
He does.
He does have a book. He has a book. A lot of just think just as many of your favorite artists, your favorite celebrities, or just anybody. A lot of the professors I have, they have their own books. Somebody could find a cure for cancer and be as rich and famous as they want to be, but they'll still write a book on. They'll still
absolutely
won't become
document.
You need that documentation. You need a book. So,
and let me say this: what really makes it great is I like that you said that a lot of times they feel like they weren't ready. They were questioning whether they were ready. This is how you get ready.
Yes.
I mean, like this is how you get them ready, because we have to, this is what I believe, we have to expose our children to what a different life looks like. See, my job was to take Robinson up on the stage with me when I go up on the stage, just expose him of what it's like to be up on stage. And he's like, Dad, I want to do that. I know, but he had to get exposure to it. And one of the things I think we do, Tamara, is we judge our children. And we think about what they can do and what they can't do, but we're judging them based on us, not based on them.
Yep.
And here's what I'm going to tell every parent out there. You don't have to judge your child. Society's going to do it for you. They're going to tell them what they can't do and what they can't be and what they can't have. And our job is every single day working against what they're telling them. Albert Einstein said everyone's a genius, but if you judge a fish by how well it climbs a tree, it'll live its whole life thinking it's stupid. And what I've found is there is no kid that isn't a genius. They've just been judged wrong. They've not been given the right opportunity. And so to expose them to these eye-opening opportunities can be life-changing. Like, wait a minute. Because when people are looking at you, when they're applauding you, when they want to take pictures of you, when they want to interview you, it gives you value. You say, okay, wait a minute, I'm about something now. So people want me, right? And so now you're looking for the next opportunity to put yourself out there. And so I think a lot of times as parents, it's about us exposing them to the right thing to help them grow to the next level. And so if you're out there right now, let me tell you, don't hesitate. We're not going to have a lot of spots in this book. So don't hesitate. If this is something that you're even considering, make sure you send her a message. Reach out to her right now. Here's another thing. If you're thinking about bringing your child to the event, to the training, stop thinking. The universe rewards those who take action differently than those who don't. You just have to take action. And there is, watch this, there's a different vision on the other side of the decision. See, there was a different vision now that Zandra said, I'm going to create this lip balm. There's a different vision now that Tamara said, I'm going to start raising a mogul. There's a different vision when I said, I'm going to start black belt speakers. My first conference had 6 people in the room. 6. It was me, my brother, my aunt, 2 people I worked with, and 1 person I didn't know. So really, it was really only 1 person and the rest of my friends. But I'm going to go with 6, right? And I'm even counting myself. Now we're sold out. We're over in Kansas City. We've been in North Carolina. We've been in Chicago. We've been in Atlanta. Why am I telling you this? Because there's a different vision on the other side of that decision. And guess what? There'll be a different vision for you and your child if you make that decision. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to take the time to reach out to Tamara. Tell her what you're looking for. Look, if you, the adult price tickets, and you can go look, the adult price tickets are $9.97. I don't apologize because the training is absolutely amazing. Now watch this. We have 60 new people and right now 37 returning. So I'm blown away that we have 60 new, but I'm even more impressed that 37 people said, wait a minute, Ruben, I've got to come back again.
Yes.
That's how great the training is. And so if you look at it, it's $9.97. If you're an adult, you bring your child, it's $147, and I'm going to waive the adult fee because I know that they can't come without you. Why do I do that? Because it's an investment. Because when I show you some of the techniques that they're going to be working on, you'll be able to help them too. You'll be able to understand what they're going through, the training that they're doing. So if this is something that you're interested in, make sure you reach out to Tamara. We're looking to change lives in multiple ways. So not only through the training, but also through the book, also through the exposure and the connections that they make at this event.
Absolutely. And guess what? I am absolutely looking forward to meeting you all and supporting you all on this new journey. And I say new because you'll never be the same. Your child will never be the same. Being in the space of such amazing people and building and forming and joining and collaborating with the new Black Belt speaker family is just, you'll never be the same. The opportunities, the increase, and just the mindset, transition that takes place. It's extremely of extreme value. So I'm looking forward to being there. I will be there for the second time. Yeah. So I would love for you to meet me there. So if you're interested, please, I know you are, shoot me a message right now so we can discuss all the details.
Yep, that's perfect. Zandra, I look forward to connect with you. I'm excited about our work together with the youth, but everybody's been reaching out to me, asking me about what you're going to talk about when you're speaking. I'm not giving away her juice. I'm not telling you what she's talking about, but what I can say is I have had a chance to hear her speak. We got a chance to be in New Jersey together, and
I talked for 80 years.
Yeah, it was a long time. And you waited for 80 years too. But I'm really glad that I was on the next day. So I didn't want to speak after her because she had the crowd wrapped up telling her story. No. I'm like, man, I'm glad I'm not till tomorrow because I'd hate to follow that. But she did an outstanding job, and I can't wait to see you at my event speaking as well.
Listen, I have to say one thing, because I know I have a lot of my people watching, a lot of my community, as well as Dr. Ruben's and Zandra's community. They were all watching. Everyone's watching. And if you're watching, you should have already shared this video. Thank you in advance. I need to let you all know that Dr. West, if you don't know, is actually Zandra's coach.
Yes.
So, and it goes way beyond that. What'd you say, Zan?
I said if you didn't make that connection already.
Right. And it goes beyond that. And because it's really important, you know, as a parent manager, it's very, very important who you allow to come into your child's life, who you trust with your child. And when we met Dr. West, we you know, met a few times at different conferences, and then we decided to take the risk, because everything is always a risk. You risk your money, you risk your time, your everything, you know, and you go to we went to the first Black Belt speaker training, and we just knew that he was the only person, I felt like he was the only person that could get her where I needed her to be and where she wanted to be. You know, it's a team effort. So I'm very excited about the connection, as you can see, because it's changed a lot. But the other thing I want to tell you, the most important thing is, when the world saw Zandra on Good Morning America, and my child appeared to be calm, cool, and collective, and they was talking to her in her ear with a mic and throwing stuff at her and telling her the set was going to change and what was going to happen. And, oh, by the way, you're live on Facebook Live in 5 minutes at 6 o'clock in the morning. Guess who was in her other ear? Dr. Ruben. He was in her other ear. He was on the phone with her, doing sessions with her the night before in the hotel. Texting
in a different time zone.
In a different time zone, yes. Texting her and encouraging her and helping her craft and make sure that whether it was 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, or 3 minutes, she was ready. And she was not only ready for the, you know, the segments, she was ready to sell her products, present her products, speak to the world, cry on camera, and do a whole Facebook Live in like 5 minutes. Behind the scenes at Good Morning America for the world to see, millions of people. So I was at home cringing and dying, and my child was on camera, secure and confident and ready because of Dr. Ruben West. So
I was in Phoenix giving you shout outs. I was like, oh my God, he's killing it. But let me just say this too, for those of you who don't know, working with children, working with youth is my passion. I've had a martial arts school for 20 years. My original degree was criminal justice with emphasis on juvenile corrections, because I don't think there's any bad children. I just think they've been judged wrong. They haven't been given the right opportunity. So I've been working with kids forever. Confucius said, if your plan is for a year, plant rice. He said, if your plan is for 10 years, plant trees. He said, but if your plan is for 100 years, invest in children. See, children are like seeds. And here's what I know. You can count the seeds in an apple, but you can never count the apple in a seed. You have no idea how many lives that child is going to touch when they go out and speak, when they go around the world with her products, with her services. And so every time Zandra goes and does another presentation, she goes on TV again, I just see her as a seed, and we cannot possibly count the apples in that seed, and your child is the same way. And so when I work with children, it's not something that I just like to do. I love to do it. It's my passion. So it's not really work for me. So when you called and said, hey, can she take this call? I'm like, yes. Like I was in another state. I was going to an event. I was like, absolutely, let's get this, because I knew that when she stepped on stage, she wasn't just representing her. She wasn't just representing her brand or even her parents. She was representing possibility to millions of other children. And I had to invest in that seed. And so your child is a seed. And so I believe your child deserves the same elevation. So whatever you can do to get your child there, number one, get them to the Black Belt Speaker event, October 5th, 6th, and 7th in Kansas City. Number two, make sure they're in this next book. Reach out to Tamara either way, and let's see how we can connect.
Yes, absolutely. I look forward to seeing you all there. Any last words, Ann?
Thank you. Thank you for all the amazing words that you said to me. I'm joking.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're really excited, and we're just overjoyed to meet you in Kansas City at Junior Black Belt Speakers and Black Belt Speakers training, the ultimate training experience with Dr. Ruben West and Mrs.
Yes, you get great goodie bags.
That's right.
All right, every fruit snacks.
Great goodie bags. That's what they call it, goodie bags.
Yes.
I love it. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to share this video. See you all soon. Shoot me a
See ya.
message.